Gonna give away ice because we want to reward you. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
We have Sugar Venom over here. If she wants to say hi. Hi. We have the star of the show, Z Kent, right here. I'm Playoff Beard. Thank you for being with us all day today. And thank you very much to ESL's Jason Kaplan and VGL's Blueberries for hours and hours of broadcasting today. Yeoman's work by the two of them. Great job. And we're happy to be with you now, talking a little bit, analyzing what we saw today. And we'll also do some ice to just reward you guys for sticking it out all this time, guys and gals. And the thing I'm most excited about, if you are in North America, add caps, ZKNT in all caps. Add ZKNT because he is going to be doing some spectator games and he's going to be coaching the players who are in the game.
I'm analyzing
the play. So, and talking about what they could be doing better, and it's going to be one of the best opportunities we've had for players to improve their game, for viewers to improve their game who are players in their own right. We've seen the Tutor Tuesdays from Shinkai-gen. That gives you a little bit of a sense of what we're going to be looking at for this. So I think that is going to be a lot of fun, and we'll also make sure to do some ice. But so just recapping some of the major storylines for today. Red making a pretty strong statement on home turf. You know, both teams doing a terrific job in this tournament.
Nemesis. Took out
Team Collab.
Pretty impressive.
And that is another storyline, of course. We have this all-star team with very, very little practice together. I think Shinkai-gen has probably been on Team Collab for only a few days.
Hours even.
Right? But it's Fuji, Araki, Zoro, such famous quality broadcasters, or quality Vainglorious tier players. Gabe Vizzle, who we've seen is just absolutely amazing. You cannot sleep on him at all. Lost Boy Toph, we all know for his Kashka play and the many others he can play. And then Shinkai-gen joining in late. But you saw that teams with a lot of chemistry, you know, are going to have a leg up over these all-star teams. You see it in the NBA, you see it in the NHL. Anytime you have all-star teams against kind of teams that have a lot of established play together, usually the all-star teams go down. That's what we saw today. We saw a lot of Scarf today. And Scarf, quite frankly, might need to be brought back a little bit in line, but we have seen Krull perform very well against Scarf. Crystal Assassin Kashka performed very well against Scarf, and Taka performed very well against Scarf.
I'm actually surprised we didn't see more Takas today. I actually think Taka is incredibly good against a lot of the things
I would have loved to see Shinkai-gen bust out the Taka, knowing that there would be a Scarf on the other side. You can burst down Scarf before he starts fanning the flames and just get rid of him. And now everyone expects the Tankshas and all that garbage. So when you bust out the Crystal Assassin Kashka, they don't expect that amount of damage, and you can really do something. So perhaps some overcompensating. I feel like Team Collab in particular played some comps today that didn't play to the strengths of the team members, perhaps overcompensating because of how much Scarf we're seeing. So I think it'll be interesting to see for the Sunday Cup, do teams kind of self-correct for that? Because at the end of the day, you want to play the heroes that are difference makers for you, not just the one that people are saying is OP. So even though Shinkai-gen, for example, had a lot of practice with Scarf in the early game, has maybe the best emote in all of Vainglory Twitch with that Scarf emote.
Why is everyone spamming ZKNT in chat?
No, that's not for ice. ZKNT, add ZKNT if you want to play in a game that Zken is
analyzing.
And
they'll kill us in a minute and a half.
All right, so clearly they just want ice. So we should do ice pretty soon. Nemesis with a fine showing with the lag on the EU servers today. Jetpacks was a standout for me. His Krull play, absolutely outstanding.
Fantastic.
We've been seeing a lot of this Shinkai-gen Aftershock, proc build with Krull, now that his Dead Man's Rush applies on-hit basic attack effects. But Jetpack's opting more for an attack speed Krull with the Shiver Steel, and maxing Spectral Smite. Loved the play out of Jetpacks today. I felt like that was a storyline in unto itself. And the founding member of Red, Redemption, getting redemption for Team Unknown. Congratulations to Team Unknown. So those are some of the storylines for today. Z-Kent loading people in right now. I will do some ice. So let me load up the giveaway thing. This is going to be completely random.
So I am currently inviting people who are decentish. I'm going to have some pretty balanced games, so give me a moment. It's going to take me just a bit to... thank goodness I can see
So the first game will be decentish, but not all the games, right?
Decentish, yes. So decentish, pretty good at hotness, because we're going to have a special guest for the hotness.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. So if you want to improve your play, get in these games, or just watch, because if you watch, you're going to see what Zekent has to say about these matches. You're going to be able to improve your game. It's not going to be typical shoutcasting. It's going to be all about analyzing the play in a way that teaches, that can help players play better in their own matches, get those wins, get that glory, because now we've revealed that glory is going to be one of the ways you can get cards faster in future updates. So that I'm really looking forward to that. Everyone seems to want Zekent to be the keyword for the first ice giveaway. So let's go ahead and do that. So now you can type ZKNT to win ice. So so I don't care if you've done it before, you have to do it now so that it registers. Type ZKNT. I'm going to do some 250 ice winners, and I'll keep doing them throughout the broadcast. So thank you so much, especially if you stayed up late to watch all of these ESL games, or if you found the time on a Wednesday morning from North America to watch these games. Thank you very much, and we'll reward you with some ice. I think we'll have some fun here. All right. So I'll give it another minute, and then we'll do the first ice winner. I'm going to do a handful of 250 ice winners. We're going to be back on Friday, and Friday we are going to have a teeny bit more information about the wolf people saw during the Southeast Asia appreciation stream, and we are going to have a skin reveal. So it is going to be a skin you haven't seen before, a skin theme you haven't seen before, that is coming in a future update, perhaps the next update. So stay tuned on Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific. I believe that's still 21 GMT. Someone can check my math. We're going to have another skin theme reveal that you're not going to want to miss. I think it might be one of the biggest crowd pleasers out of all the skins that we're going to unveil. All the heroes will have skins, but they're going to come in kind of, step by step. So stay tuned for that. So let's do some ice winners now.
All right, I'm also going to hop right into games, so let's do this.
All right, first winner.
We have people. We have Nasakin, Awesome Austin 98, Gloom Cookie versus the Beast, the Real Platypus, and Senior Waffles. I like this guy's name.
Congratulations, Senior. That sounds good. I want waffles.
Senior Waffles.
BFDM Mexi, you win 250 ice. Congratulations. I'm going to send you a message on Twitch. If you do not answer this message in your Twitch inbox with your player name, you are not going to get your ice. So do that. Need player name. Ice will be awarded as soon as I have time, because I can't do that while we're broadcasting.
All right, let's see what these teams decide to go with. We have a jungle Taka. We have a lane Koshka, and another lane for Pedal. So double laners coming out for the bottom team, and Jungle Jewel, Lane Ringo, and roaming Koshka for the blue team. Should be interesting.
All right. Dexterayu wins 250 ice. Congratulations. I'm sending you a message right now. You must answer this message with your player name. If someone can't figure it out, you can always email support@superevilmegacorp.com, and Mageless, perhaps the most beloved member of the Super Evil team, will help you out.
All right, we have Nasakin, Asamasa, and Gloom Cookie running base right now. Got the double weapon blades and the energy battery for the blue side. On the red team, we have Oakart coming out with a weapon blade and a crystal bit. So it actually does look like they're going with the double lane. I actually don't think this is a bad idea against Ringo, because Ringo can actually punish Pedal pretty heavily, and this does mean Taka will be able to get ahead in levels, which is really important. So if Taka doesn't get invaded upon, he should have a really good time this game, because he'll hit level 6 early, he'll be able to crush everyone. And right now, Center Waffles and Real Platypus are just pushing the lane. This means Ringo's going to be stuck at his tower while the red team can invade.
All right, Demon King 1 wins 250 ice. I have sent you a message on Twitch. Respond to that. Give us your Vainglory player name. We will make sure you get your ice maybe 24 to 48 hours from now, so you'll get your ice. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for joining us for the first Vainglory ESL Cup Series. Now it is going to be all Zekent talking through these games, helping you, the viewers, along with these players who will watch the video on demand replay, improve their game. So I will shut up a lot more and let Zekent do his thing.
This is actually pretty smart by Nasakin. He knows that there's 2 people in lane on the red side, so he's going to invade Taka right here. And let's see if he manages to steal his camp away, or if the Beast manages to get it. So Nasakin actually misses that Thunder Strike. That's really unfortunate. The Beast is actually level 2 now. However, his teammates have not rotated down to help him. So in this situation, if you see your jungler is in danger, you should come help him, especially if you have the enemy laner pushed up to the tower as they do. So right now, Center Waffles is coming down. Let's see if they can do anything in Jewel. Probably not. Jewel's already had plenty of time in here. However, Nastikin is sticking around, and right here, he could be in danger. He has used his Rocket Leap in, which is a huge mistake, especially when you don't know where the enemy laners are.
All right, for everyone, you can stop typing Zkent. It doesn't accomplish anything anymore. We'll have a new keyword after this game for more ice giveaways.
So this is actually a pretty good bait by the Beast. The Beast actually stayed around in his jungle, even knowing that the enemy Jewel is more healthy than him, because he knew he had his teammate coming. He saw snowballing coming down from lane, and that really gave him an opportunity to secure that kill onto Jewel. However, Koshka, Gloom Cookie just needs to focus on farming, because the entire blue side of the jungle is pretty much up right now, and that's a lot of golden experience to be had. Right here, the Beast on Taka, 1-0-0, only 5 CS, which isn't great, but it's not too bad. And both laners for the red side actually do have 7 CS already, so actually quite solid coming out from them.
All right, I don't know why people are so slow to the punch today.
Because we're on a minute and a half delay.
Oh, because we're still on the ESL delay.
This is
that
true.
Makes more sense. I was wondering why everyone was so much less smart than they usually are. So we're not going to do keywords anymore. So after this, it's going to be completely random. So you can stop with the keywords. I don't want to do keywords with this kind of delay. So after this match, we will do 3 more winners of 250 ice each. All you have to do is make sure you are following the channel and watching the stream, and you will be eligible to win 250 ice. There will be no keyword. So stop with the keywords and enjoy Zkent.
Yep, so right now, Senator Waffles is pushing up against Awesome Austin, and with the double laner, what they really should focus on doing is shoving the lane in and then going to invade the jungle, because Awesome Austin on Ringo will be stuck at the tower. Ringo's wave clear is actually quite poor, so they should have a lot of opportunities to just 3-man invade into the enemy jungle as Awesome Austin is stuck at his turret. But I don't think they're going to do that. I would recommend it. If you are watching, that's something you should keep in mind if you're going to double laners. Oh, Gloom Cookie comes out of the jungle, jumps on the real platypus. However, there's not too much to be done there. I don't actually think a gank will be successful unless both Nastikin on Jewel and Gloom Cookie come at the same time, because there's no CC. Awesome Austin is out of energy. He can't use his Achilles shot, so there's no slow. They can't really catch anyone. But if Jewel lands onto Senator Waffles is just dead. Like, there should be no way.
So seeing the 2 in lane, that's obviously something we don't see much of at higher elos. Is there anything you would say to the players who maybe aren't quite as familiar with the typical meta, or is this just as valid?
I think this is actually just as valid, though it depends on how you play it. If you're coordinated as a team, however, this is kind of like, we just kind of put players together, so it's kind of hard to arrange a strategy real quick. But I actually think 2 laners is actually very valid, because if you can force the enemy laner into the turret, and then just roam all over the enemy jungle, you're basically forcing 3v2s across the map, and that's a really, really good way to get an advantage. And basically, one thing I would do is, if you're going to double laner, you're shoving so hard that your enemy laner never gets a chance to go to the middle jungle shop. And the enemy junglers also can't go there, because they're always under threat of being collapsed on by 3 people. So I actually think it's a very valid strategy. It's just not seen very often, because I think double jungle is definitely a easier strategy to pull off. It is also it's pretty effective, but I do think a double laning composition can work out very, very well.
So I think Zkent, tell me, are you mostly focused on, I think it would be cool if we had at least one match that was higher elos for the people who are high elo in the chat.
Well, we have one that's going to the hotness, so I think that's pretty high.
All right, so
and next week, we can move on from there.
All right, so we're going to mix it up every time we do this, which will be every Wednesday after ESL. We will do different skill tier ranges. So
nice.
The last one we'll do today will be higher skill tiers. So if you're asking about that, we will get up there. So that is what that is. Are we doing any higher skill tier analysis later on in the stream and next week?
Right, we have the real platypus pushing up the lane as Koshka. This is actually a really good use for Koshka. She's incredibly fast at shoving waves, and she can just explode minions incredibly easily. So as long as she has a little bit of sustain, a little bit of tankiness. Oh, I seem to have lagged out. That's really unfortunate. Let's give this game a moment to catch up.
We were
all right, there we go.
We kind of put everything together on the fly. So we are put together with bubblegum and twist ties right now, but we'll hang tight and we'll have a good time here.
Yep, it does. I need to turn off our Wi-Fi. Let me do that real quick. I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi so that I can just be connected through off. There we go. I'll be connected through our Ethernet now.
There you see for a moment the internal super evil networks. Do not hack us.
Please. Okay, so right now I am waiting on this Ethernet port to kick in.
Yeah, so he's on an NVIDIA Shield, and one of the advantages of the Shield is that you can hardline your device with an Ethernet cable.
All right,
so
anytime now.
that is what he's done. But
Come on.
So we need someone to coach Zkent on the technology while he coaches the players on the game.
Come on, anytime now. Let me replug this.
Maybe not happy that he switched midstream. Hello, everybody.
Hello again.
I'm Playoff Beard. This is Zkent. Everyone wants to see Sugar Venom. She should come say hi.
Let me plug this in.
She's typing.
Are we having more issues?
Well, he switched the input. He switched the input in the middle of the match.
No, this is totally fine. We just have to wait for our internet to kick in.
If you happen to just be joining us, we had many, many hours of ESL today as Team Unknown on home EU turf emerged victorious, beating both Red 1 and beating Red 2. We saw the first sighting of Team Collab, which is a special all-star team with Fuji, Zkent, Shinkaigen, Gabe Vizzle, and Lost Boy Toph. But they were taken out by Red 2 with some superior chemistry and the advantage of the home servers. So some really, really fun games today. There was a team I've never heard of. Someone has to educate me. It was like Team Flingerdurger.
I don't know how to say that.
And they were amazing. They made it all the way to the semifinal game. So congratulations to them. I will try to get a pronunciation guide for next time on that team. You can look at the bracket. They are back Sunday. Gathering up feedback as well from all of you on this very first broadcast from the ESL studios in Frankfurt, and we'll be passing all of that along. So it's only going to get better and better from here.
So a little bit of a mistake from Senator Waffles right there. He basically did, the beast is a beast. He's doing work. So Senator Waffles right there activated his ultimate before his minions were actually chasing anything. So they kind of just exploded in place, which is not really what you want them to do. You want to make sure you pre-target an enemy and make sure your minions are running towards them before you actually decide to activate your ultimate. And right here, this is what I like about the red side team comp. Taka is incredibly good once he hits level 6. And because he was solo jungling, he hit level 6 much earlier than otherwise expected. And even though the enemy Ringo was able to lane solo against 2 laners and get more experience that way, playing against a Taka, even if you're an even level Ringo against a Taka, you're going to die because Taka just explodes you for the first 15 minutes of the game. If Awesome Austin is able to pick up some more farm and stall the game out a little bit, he should be able to survive against the Taka. But until that point, he's going to have a pretty rough time for now. And right here we have Jewel, just doing some things. Jewel is actually building Sorrow Blade, going pure weapon. I think that's really, really smart this game.
For all the people who might be a little bit lower skill tier, can you talk a little bit about Book of Eulogies, why that's a great melee start in general and a great start on Jewel?
Ooh, that was awesome on the Beast. But in any case, starting Book of Eulogies on Jewel is good if you're in lane. Nasakin is not laning, so I actually don't really agree with that pickup. But the reason it's really good in lane is because every single time you kill a minion or anything with Book of Eulogies on you, you can actually you heal 100 health. And in lane, as a melee, you're constantly killing minions, you're constantly regenerating health. It's super hard to push you out of lane. As a range, you get 50 back. But Nasakin in the jungle, he's not clearing minions. Oh, that was some serious damage with the big red button. And the Beast is fighting it out. However, he's going to have to be scared here. Nasakin is trying to catch him. The Beast is pretty much caught out. And we have Awesome Austin finishing off the pedal. This is a pretty common Ringo build, the Tension Bow early on. The one issue with Tension Bow is that it falls off later in the game. Once the enemies get armor, once they have health, it basically doesn't do damage anymore. 180 damage, pretty good. 180 damage every 6 seconds later in the game where your basic attacks are already doing 400, 500 is literally nothing. So Tension Bow has this nice little power spike in the middle of the game around I would say the 5 to 12 minute mark is where it's pretty powerful and pretty potent. But if you see your enemies going early tank, you see them getting reflex box, you see them getting light shield, light armors and everything early on. I actually disagree with a Tension Bow pickup. However, in this game, no one's going defensive, so it's still pretty solid.
And this is an important point. So Tension Bow kind of has a window in which it's really great. And then after that, it's really far less effective. But maybe most importantly, especially at the lower elos, the tendency is if you get hit with a tension bow to run away. Like, oh my God, I just got chunked for damage. I have to leave now. When in fact, the most important thing to remember is that tension bow is just one shot, and then that's all they can do. So the last thing you want to do is run away. You want to go in on that person because you're going to be able to put out all the rest of the damage in that duel. So that's kind of the first thing. If you get chunked for half your life with a tension bow, don't leave. Go in on the person. You're going to win the fight because tension bow is kind of one shot and you're done.
Well, you still have to keep an eye on the enemy items if they are stronger than you, even without a tension bow.
Yeah, level matters, items matter. Levels matter, items matter, but all things being equal, tension bow, just remember, once the damage has already been dealt, they can't do anything more really, and that's the time to fight.
Yep, and right here, that's what I was talking about. The Beast is completely destroying Ringo, and that's the thing about having a single jungler. Look at him. The Beast level 12 already. This is 12 minutes in the game. He's level 12. He is 3 levels above Ringo. He has items above Ringo. He literally just jumps onto Awesome Austin, and Awesome Austin is dead. Like 100% dead. There's nothing he can do about it. He just instantly explodes. And right here, we see the gold mine being taken down by the red side, so pretty good pickup for them. They were able to take a really good fight in their favor. The double assassins doing some pretty good work, just doing huge amounts of burst damage. And this is where the blue team should really be building defensive stats. If they built some shielding, if they built some armor, it would be very, very solid.
Oh, so we have a question that Sugar Venom's helping us with. Could Zchem commentate on Weapon versus Crystal Jewel?
Yeah, so Weapon Jewel is really, really good at doing heavy amounts of burst with her Thunderstrike. And if you're able to, so the way you play Weapon Jewel is if you jump on someone, you can auto attack them, you can Thunderstrike them, you auto attack them again, and that's your burst. If you're playing Crystal Jewel, your jump and your Thunderstrike do some pretty good damage, but really, if you can get, what I personally like doing on Crystal Jewel is I will jump on someone, I actually buy a Shiver Steel so that I hit them once with my melee attack, my basic attack, and that means they're slow, they cannot possibly run away from my big red button, and they just get lasered in the face for every single tick of it and they die.
Sounds good to me. Is there another question that you had there?
Sorry. Yep. And I lost it. Nope.
It was something about Tension Bow versus Bonesaw, I
There you
believe.
go. That's it.
Yeah, boom. I'm fast at reading.
Hey.
So Tension Bow versus Bonesaw. Bonesaw is much better mid to late game. Nasakin seems to be having connectivity issues. That's unfortunate. So he's going to drop. Not too much happening there. But this is one of the things I'm noticed, or I'll finish talking about the Tension Bow and Bonesaw first. So Tension Bow, incredibly good early game. Bonesaw is really good for shredding people that have a lot of armor. It's not really necessary against heroes that just aren't buying armor. But even if they aren't buying armor, they still have their base armor. So it's actually solid, but I wouldn't say it's like the ideal item. I would say if you want a Tension Bow, you buy early on. And once it hits like a 12-minute mark, if you buy a Tension Bow after that, it's completely worthless. And the Bonesaw is if you see mid to late game, the enemies have a good amount of armor, or your team is just heavy weapon, then you buy the Bonesaw.
All right, and yes, it is in fact Sugar Venom's birthday.
Yes, it is.
We love her so much. Happy birthday, Sugar Venom. Everyone should do their version of singing in chat
Yes.
somehow.
Oh no.
I will
Here
put
comes spam.
the emotes that I have for Sugar Venom.
All right, so this is one of the things I noticed in lower tier play. The teams are not particularly good at pushing turrets. Like it's 15 minutes and there's no turrets down. And they have had some pretty good fights. So there were a few fights where, okay, red team has aced the blue team, and they go off and do, I don't know what. They're just kind of wandering around the map, picking up farm, when they could be, ooh, that was nice. So Real Platypus catching out Nasakin, trying to do her big red button. However, she explodes because she put herself in the middle of the enemy team. Probably would have been better just to like spread out, dodge big red button, and jump in afterwards. But, you know, that works. The Beast is doing work now. But one thing is, so this fight is going pretty even. So nothing too big should happen off of this. But in some of the earlier fights, red team got some pretty big advantages. And they should have, instead of wandering around the map trying to take other objectives, they should go straight for the turrets. There's no reason not to take a turret if you have the opportunity to. It's 300 gold per member of your team. That's 900 gold for your team. The gold mine is easier to get after you have the enemy turret down, because that means they have less room to retreat back to. That means they have less vision. That means you have more places to hide. And So I would say in almost 100% of the situations, taking down a turret should be your priority if you have the opportunity.
Can you talk a little bit about Crystal Taka versus Weapon Taka?
Crystal Taka, just upfront burst. Weapon Taka is a little bit more mobile in fights because you get your crit procs more often, making your perk happen more often, and is better for sustained fights. However, Crystal Taka, if you want to just explode someone and you're ahead, I don't recommend going Crystal Taka if you're behind or even.
Yeah.
It's really all about like someone walks out into lane, boom, they're dead. They walk back out of base, boom, they're dead.
Yeah, so if you're thinking heavy Crystal Taka, focus on X-Retsu, focus on that burst damage, and can be good against a Scarf for bursting down a Scarf. If you're thinking Weapon Taka, that's a great counter to a Vox. A sustained damage Taka can really do a number on someone like Vox. So
this is a really good bait by the blue team. They basically were camping in a bush, and the red team just had no idea. So they were able to pick off quite a few, probably 2 kills, probably 3 actually. I think oh my gosh, Thunder Waffles. Why aren't you dying? It's amazing. So Naskin chasing down the Beast. I'm actually surprised the Beast made it out of that. It was really because Thunder Waffles stayed alive for so long that he was able to make it out. He is actually 15-2, so doing really well on that Taka. And he is actually going Crystal after the Tension Bow, which I personally don't like too much, just because he is ahead, but I don't think he's ahead enough. Like, he's not instantly killing people. He has, like, the enemy Ringo does have a metal jacket, which is good against, I guess, Weapon Taka, but it's still pretty good against Crystal Taka, because Taka, most of his, if he's just doing a little bit of upfront burst, and then he can't finish off the Ringo will just kite him down and kill him. So right here we have Naskin jumping in. The Beast is caught out. He is going to die. And that's playing a little bit too aggressive on that Taka. Alright.
You also see there, just in general, make sure you're not using your ultimate in a situation where you're already going to secure a kill. We see it at all ELOs, but see a lot of Hellfire Brews that are charring dead carcasses. That's one thing you can work on. Even if you just go into a game and work on one thing, you can work on making sure that you only use your ultimate in a situation where you need it, when it's going to be effective and not overkill.
I wouldn't even say that's only true for ultimates. I say that for every single one of your abilities. If you don't have to use an ability, don't use it, because you want to save that energy for the future use. Unless, of course, you have like a million clockworks and you're just like, I don't even care.
Right, but very, very true for, say, a Kashka. Like, if a Kashka can secure a kill without using a Pouncy Fun or a Twirly Death, might be better off saving that, for a different encounter.
Yeah, so this is one of the situations I was talking about. Blue team had the opportunity to finish off that turret. Jewel had full HP. She could have easily tanked it down, and they're just backing off. So that could have been a free turret, but it doesn't really translate into anything, even though they were able to pick off every single one of the members of the red team. They were a little bit scared of Taka, but Taka getting a kill over getting 300 gold per member of your team, pretty worth it.
So if you joined us late, ESL has concluded for the day. Team Unknown will be the answer to the trivia question for the first cup winner of an officially sanctioned Vainglory tournament in conjunction with ESL. We are now just having some fun, playing some games, giving away some ice after each match, with Zekent just spectating and kind of teaching throughout the broadcast, helping players improve their games based on what he sees.
Yep, I will do my best. And Real Platypus jumping out. However, he is not really tanky. He is going with a kind of an odd build for Kashka. I actually think this is actually one of the more important things I will be talking about today, just item builds in general. So right now there's a pretty big fight going on. Red team is in full retreat. They're completely lacking in defensive stats, and that's really going to be hurting them. The Real Platypus, Serpent's Mask Aftershock. He has a reflex block, but that's not really going to save him. It's not really enough, especially with how much damage the blue team is outputting. So the entire side of the red team, almost no defensive stats. There is a Crucible, there's a Reflex block, but it's not really enough when the enemy team is just kind of exploding you every time you jump in. And these are heroes that they're playing that will be jumping in. They're playing the Taka, they're playing the Kashka. They're in the middle of fights, and if they jump in and they don't have any defensive stats, they will just die. And right here, Senator Waffles actually like this play, even if he dies, but it looks like he's going to be alive, so that's totally fine. Senator Waffles went for the turret. I think that was a really smart choice, getting the extra 900 gold for your team. And blue team does respond by taking out the red team's turret. However, it was pretty much an even trade, and the Real Platypus actually did a lot, or Senator Waffles actually did a lot more damage to that turret. The red team's turret was basically dead. It had maybe like 2 hits left on it, so it was basically gone. And Awesome Austin, here he goes, taking a lot of damage. However, this is the problem. Real Platypus in the middle of the enemy team again, and just instantly killed. She drops her ultimate Yummy Catnip Frenzy and just immediately dies afterwards. There's nothing she can do about it. She does have the reflex block. Didn't really use it, but I don't really think it would have saved her. Definitely not have enough health.
Okay, so an interesting comment by the big dog. In a Pinnacle of Awesome match, this would already be over. So I don't know if you agree with that, but what would you be seeing in a slightly higher ELO match that's different from this one that could make a game get closed out faster?
So the thing about lower ELOs compared to higher ELOs is people get better and better at closing out games. Even though in today's ESL tournament we did see some fantastic comebacks by Team Unknown, that is pretty hard to pull off unless your team comp is quite good or better than your opponents, or you just have better teamwork. So one thing about like these lower MMR games is that teams don't push their advantage. They get an advantage, and then they kind of want like squander it off just by wandering around the map and just buying kind of interesting items sometimes. Like the red team had a huge advantage early on. They had a Taka that was just completely wrecking face. And he's got a Crucible, Attention Bow, a Shadowglass, and a Tyrant's Monocle. Not really a synergistic build right there.
So real quick, Tom Hawker, what is the best item build for Krull right now? I would say either go with a Aftershock Shiver Steel base build and max Deadman's Rush, always making sure you're hitting that Shiver Steel before you Deadman's Rush, and you'll get the Aftershock proc, you'll get the Shiver Steel proc, stick to the target, and you'll be able to Spectral Smite, or go with a double Blazing Salvo with a Shiver Steel build, maxing Spectral Smite, and to get a Clockwork, just like you saw Jetpacks today, focus on using Spectral Smite to do a ton of damage and make sure you're a little bit tankier.
Yep, so right here, this is one of the problems with the red side team comp. After they go in, if one of them drops, they just lose the fight. If they can manage to get one pickoff, they'll be fine. But the blue team is sticking together very, very well. They have a Jewel, they have a Koshka, they have a Ringo. Ringo just never gets hit in these fights. I have not seen him take a single bit of damage unless Taka is like just instantly jumping on him. And even if Taka does that, Taka dies immediately afterwards. So it's not even super worth it for the red team. Right now, what the red team needs to do is completely take over the jungle and just try to get pickoffs here and there and try splitting up the blue team, because in one-on-one fights, they're actually quite strong.
All right, so Geo Penguin, we'll probably wait to the start of next match, and then we can walk through Iron Guard contract when it's relevant, when we're seeing those duo jungle kind of roaming around together.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no one in this game picked up Iron Guard contract, which is quite interesting.
Well, I think maybe next one we can do a higher ELO tier, just to keep it fresh, and we'll probably see some different play.
Alrighty, we have Gloom Cookie doing work, getting exploded is the real platypus, and that's the problem right there. No defensive stats coming out whatsoever means you're going to die. You're going to jump in, you might do a lot of damage, but the best CC is death. So if the enemy team kills you, you're not going to do any damage.
Yeah, very, very true.
Alrighty, we have Awesome Austin doing work, 1099. There's actually something really interesting. The kill count is very spread out on the blue team and very focused on the red side. So if Taka goes down, I would say that's the majority of the red team's gold. I'm pretty sure that's at this point 60% of their gold is probably on Taka right now. And if Taka goes down, he just dies. It's just over for the red team because there's no way they can fight against three people who are pretty much evenly balanced in power.
So we have a question. What do you think about a breaking point on Ringo, and more generally, when is it best to have a breaking point?
A breaking point on Ringo. I personally don't like it because though you are usually sticking on the edge of fights, it takes a long time for it to be built up. 20 stacks takes 20 seconds, and fights are usually over within the first 6 or 7, or you'll probably know who's going to win that fight in the first 6 or 7. And Ringo's not really a tank, so if they do notice you get a breaking point, that's a pretty significant investment on basically no stats at the first few seconds of a fight. Okay, right here, this is it. There's not too much the red team can do at this point. They're just not tanky enough, and the blue team is just probably going to steamroll the rest of this game.
So what we're doing is after each match, we're picking a small skill tier range, and we're just, Zken is randomly picking friends out of his friends list, people who have added all caps ZKNT in North America, and that's how people are getting into the game. So it's mostly for watching, listening to Zkent, but who knows, you might get into a game, you might win some ice today. And we're going to move up the skill tier a bit for the next match. We'll keep it moving around throughout the broadcast.
All right. I was planning on doing, what is it right now? Right now it's decentish. I was going to do like pretty good next, but it looks like some of the higher elo players want to play a game or something, so I can always bump it up to like Pinnacle or whatever.
All right, so the next game we'll bump it up just to make sure that any of the high elo players in the chat have something that they're going to find applicable to them as well, and we'll keep moving that around. So it's very important to us that we're, especially for those who are in the lower elos, that they're getting a chance to learn and improve their game, but obviously there's something to learn at all elos, so we'll keep it moving around from match to match.
All right, we have...
First, watch later.
Everything from today we will get up for sure in Vainglory Casual. Might take a little bit of time to do it because of the broadcast coming out of Frankfurt today, but we will make sure everything gets up on the Vainglory Casual YouTube channel.
Yep, and this is why the blue team is pushing their advantage. So even though the first bit of the game, they weren't really pushing it too hard, at this point, they're doing quite well at closing out the game. They've taken down most of the red team. The beast is maybe going to not die. Okay, yeah, whatever. They can ignore him. They're going to take out the Kraken, and they're going to push for a victory. Maybe. Maybe? Yes? I don't know.
So one thing we're clearly seeing in this game is
come on,
not quite enough decisiveness and not pushing advantages. So, I think this is advice that's obviously not advice from me. It's something that hopefully you've heard before from many different sources. I first heard it on a MOBA podcast. Every time you play, focus on one thing. Just go into the game with one thing in mind and focus on doing that better. And I think for a lot of people, something they can work on is just being a little more cutthroat in terms of pressing your advantage. Pressing your advantage however you can.
The way I call it is go in and try doing something stupid. If it works, cool. If not, then you learn something.
Well, there's always something to learn, whether you do something stupid or not. That is for sure. But when you're at lower elos, you give the other team a chance to get back in the game if you don't press your advantage. When you see Gangstars play, when you see Nemesis play, the one thing they always do is they put their foot on your throat and they don't give you an opportunity to get back in the game. And I think that's something that all these players in this game could really work on, is pressing an advantage, playing a little bit more aggressively when you get the upper hand, and kind of doing what you can to exploit that advantage.
Most definitely. That's why you see a lot of the higher elo games end pretty quickly. They usually end around 17 to 18 minutes or 20 minutes even. But that's usually the limit. This game is 29 minutes long, and I would call that a pretty long match. Because there were many times when either team could have taken advantages, and they just kind of squandered them.
Yeah. Agreed. So this next game, GG, congratulations to Team Blue here. We're going to do ice, and we are going to make sure that we do a higher elo tier for the next game. So we're going to pick some Pinnacle players in this next game. And yeah, that is good advice. Who was that who said that? So Video Villain, very true. We're going to make sure, I'll fight all my instincts to do any shoutcasting, and we'll make sure that Zkent is primarily teaching throughout the broadcast.
I just want to talk about these item builds a little bit. So I actually like Jules' item build. She doesn't have boots, but I don't think she really needs them. She's kind of wandering around, and the enemy team just basically walked to her. Petal wouldn't really be able to do too much damage to her just because all her minions run in the front of Jewel, and her perk will reduce most of that damage. And Taka and Kashka literally run at Jewel. So Jewel, it's really easy for her to fight them, and she can literally go with a no mobility build and be completely fine. So I actually like her build. Kashka on the blue side, pretty solid, kind of tank. I don't like the Eve of Harvest. I don't really think it's necessary on Kashka. The Aftershock is really good, but the Eve of Harvest doesn't really seem like it would be too useful. Well, she doesn't really need the extra sustain from that. Ringo, the metal jacket, kind of premature. He was getting killed by Taka, but Taka was going crystal at first. So I actually saw Ringo buy the metal jacket very early on, which was around I believe 12-minute mark, 11-minute mark. And at that point, Taka was still full. He was like, Tension Bow Shatterglass. Most of that damage is coming out from Taka was actually crystal, so Metal Jacket was kind of a waste.
Yeah, I mean, just fundamentally, you see, 2 aftershocks. Look at all the blue. Look at all that blue, and only Naskinen responding with an Aegis.
Yep. So overall, blue side's item builds. I like Jules. The rest of them, okay. On the red side, Koshka's build, the real platypus, doesn't really synergize. She has no Serpent's Mask and Eve of Hearts, so a lot of lifesteal, I guess.
Yeah.
But where are you lifestealing from if you don't have damage? It's not going to do anything for you.
And with Koshka, you really want to... I know there's a lot of Tanksha in the meta right now, but still, fundamentally, especially at lower elos, think of Koshka as someone who needs to get in and out quickly. You go in, you do burst damage, and you get away using your heroic perk before they can kill you. And then you look for another opportunity, pounce in, do it again. Mm-hmm. So the Aftershock definitely works, but all of the lifesteal, I think, is wasted in this situation, especially now that Koshka isn't energy hungry like she was in the past.
Most definitely. And for Taka, honestly, he could have gone with a much more snowball build. I like the Tension Bow is not a bad pickup because he was quite ahead. So he was exploding Ringo constantly. But then he decided to build a Shatterglass, which I find a little bit strange because he already had the Tension Bow, so he was apparently going for a weapon build at first, and then swapped over to a Tyrant's Monocle after the Shatterglass. So Shatterglass, Tyrant's Monocle, no synergy whatsoever. And I just find the trying to go with a hybrid build on Taka doesn't work out too well. You really want to focus on one source of damage.
Mojo Joe likes Coco. Congratulations on having a great name and winning 250 ice.
And finally, Petal. I actually think Petal's build is pretty solid. She probably should have gone a little bit tankier just because of how much damage she was taking. A little bit of armor. On her, I think a Metal Jacket would have been fantastic. Jewel has a lot of weapon. Ringo does a lot of weapon damage. And I think if Petal had a Metal Jacket, things would have been okay. But honestly, her build was solid. I have no real complaints there. All right, let's hop into the next game. I'm going to be inviting some high MMR players.
Congratulations, 250 ice. You guys, you gals, gotta make sure you reply to the message I'm sending you in your private Twitch inbox. I need your player name in order to give you your ice. And we're gonna have one more winner this round. Congratulations, Fi DPWee. And now the one more winner this round. So we're gonna look for Pinnacles? Is that what we're looking for?
I'm getting Pinnacles.
All right, we're looking for Pinnacles this game. The number 1 with a lot of 3s in it, which is kind of confusing mentally. But the number 1, congrats, 250 ice for you.
I don't know if we have enough Pinnacles.
Well, you can go slightly higher or lower from there, I would imagine.
I'll get some gold, simply amazings.
That sounds very happy too. Congratulations. The number 1 need
I'll get Shin.
Your player name. Oh my god. Well, we're going to learn a lot watching that, that's for sure. I saw Lady Wabish in chat as well. We will be hosting her after this broadcast.
Oops. Not you, sorry. Let's see. Shin is vainglorious, this is true. But I don't have enough people on my friends list to invite people that...
Oh, you got some other people there. Oh, Shin Kaigen says sure, so he will join the game.
He's already joined the game.
I saw him as unaccepted.
Oh, well, then I'll have to reinvite him.
So Zken is adding all these people now, so you'll have a chance possibly to play. Exceptions wants to play. Exceptions gets a lot of love.
I invited him.
We'll look for some other people.
He was Pinnacle, so he gets invited.
Ah, I see. Okay.
All right. I'm adding people to my friends list. Please hold. This could take a little bit.
Lino Sec, is there a 2 Ice Guild? No, there's no 2 Ice Guild. There will be another 1 Ice member inducted on the Friday stream. I don't know, maybe we should induct another member.
Nah.
No, it's really a Friday exclusive, so we'll wait until Friday to do that. If you joined us late, ESL is over for the day. Congratulations to Team Unknown.
Spoilers.
What?
Spoilers.
What do you mean?
Well, someone hasn't watched it yet, and they just want to tune in for this stream.
All I said was that an unknown team won.
Oh, okay.
All right,
fine.
yeah. So congratulations to the winner of the ESL. We are here now with Z-Kent talking through, analyzing some spectator games, helping people improve their play. We will be doing a new skin reveal on the Friday dev stream, so stay tuned for that. You want to go to the big cam for a minute so they can see your pretty
Sure.
face?
But I'm accepting all these friends. I'm making so many friends right now.
Hey everybody, I am Playoff Beard. This is the one and only Z-Kent. Slightly off camera, much to everyone's disappointment, is Sugar Venom, who is helping out in chat. We really enjoyed all the ESL coverage today. Also, I think you're just going to see it get better and better moving forward. So we're just having some fun. And so the number one, I see your player name, and I will write it down. But for the most part, make sure you send a message, reply to the message that we're sending on Twitch, just to make sure that we get you into the game. So this is what we're going to do.
This looks solid.
You all set?
I am all set. We got people in this game named
We got people-
Magic Cat, Exceptions, Wicked Big Dog versus Fitch, Shinkagen, and Tinker. So this should be pretty good. These are all people who are Pinnacle and above.
Pinnacle and above in this game. So we'll see a lot less likely to see double lane. We'll certainly see some proper iron guarding in this match, and a lot more. So looking forward to hearing what Z-Kent has to say about this. Shinkagen Maiko Taka getting that last match today out of his system as Team Collab went out. I kind of felt like there was a conversation late in that where they're like, you got to play Scarf. Scarf is OP right now. Maybe got talked into a Scarf in that situation when so many other heroes are so strong for him right now.
Maybe.
So we'll see what happens moving forward with that all-star Team Collab.
This game we got Kashka, Scarf, Vox versus Arden, Taka, and Vox. So I actually really like the Taka pick here, even though he didn't know what he was up against. Like, having Taka against Scarf and Vox is really good. He can chase him down pretty easily, and if he does get ahead, he will crush the game. And Arden is most likely going to be feeding most of the gold and experience over to Taka. Arden's going to mostly be focused on keeping Tinker alive on that Vox, and it's really going to be, can Taka take over this game? Or will Kashka, just brawl him out early on?
If you're asking, can I play at my skill tier, we're trying to mix it up as we go. So every match kind of has a different skill range. So we'll get to everyone, but will you actually be able to get in the game? That is a much different question because, more than 1,000 people watching. We'll do the best we can, but I think if you want to learn, you're going to really learn from watching even more than playing right now. So just hear what Z-Kent has to say about these games. I know people wanted you to talk about the new Iron Guard contract, how it affects the early game.
So the new Iron Guard contract, so double flare coming out. This is actually one of the big things about high-ELO play.
Yeah.
People are very conscious about the early game invade, especially with the Scarf in the game. They want to make sure that they don't get jumped on. So I actually really like the double flares coming out right there. Really smart play by both teams.
And the earlier jungle monster spawn also changing how often we see those invades that are so popular at high elos. It seems like that has kind of waned to a certain degree as teams are more reluctant to give up farm.
Yep, so this game we have just one Iron Guard contract on that Kashka. And the thing about the Iron Guard contract is now it doesn't matter if your ally knows what's going on with it. As long as you stand near it when it dies, you get 30% of the gold, which is pretty nice. If you're tanking it, you get a little bit of health back, and your ally gets 15%. So if they know what they're doing with it, it's good for them. But if they don't, it's still fine for you.
Right, so it's really there to protect the person who bought Iron Guard. If your jungle mate, if it's solo queue, doesn't know what they're doing, you're not going to get punished the way you did in the past. But if your teammate knows what to do, they will get a reward as well as you jungle around.
Most definitely. So Wicked Big Dog coming out of the lane already to help out his team. So right now the blue team is invading on the red side. This is actually really smart. Taking the bottom right camp, or rather the camp nearest to the shop, is actually a very good way to get ahead. You slowly get a little bit of CS and experience advantage, and you snowball out into a much larger lead.
Absolutely.
So right now, pretty large fight happening, and blue team takes yet another camp away. And that's the problem with having the Taka and Arden early on against a Kashka and Scarf. Kashka and Scarf, very powerful early. Magic Hat taking pretty low. I don't think Shin's going to be able to take him out, though. So Shin goes down, and right there, you're seeing the power of the early game team composition versus the mid to late game comp. Having Kashka, having Scarf early game two of the most powerful early game duelists. And Taka actually really, really, really bad from level 1 to 5.
Yeah, absolutely. So one last point on Iron Guard contract. In the past, when people Iron Guard correctly, they wait around and make sure the person with Iron Guard hits the monster first and then the other person last hits. But with the change now, something to keep in mind, all that matters is that the Iron Guarder tanks one shot of damage at some point. So if you're the Kashka and your jungle mate has Iron Guard, or I guess I should reverse it in this situation for the teams we're watching. So if you're Scarf, you don't have to wait for the Kashka to start a camp. You just have to make sure Kashka takes aggro at some point, and then you'll both get the benefit of Iron Guard contract. So I'm seeing a lot of people at high elo, they're starting camps earlier because they don't have to wait around for the Iron Guarder.
Most definitely, and right here we see a pretty big team fight going on. Red team going a little bit hard. They don't really know where scout traps are, but they have already popped one. So right now, Shinkai is jumping on exceptions, trying to push that Scarf out of the fight. Scarf is going to be able to throw around a little Spitfire from the back lines, though, so he should be okay. But Tinker does jump on him, and it looks like he's going to be taken down. So really smart play from the red team, recognizing that Scarf wanted to come back into the fight and just jumping on him immediately.
So a great question from Mr. Gallant says, after watching ESL, I'm super interested in competitive play. What do you recommend as an entry point into that area of Vainglory? So couldn't be asking a better person, someone who has played on professional teams in the past for League of Legends.
So one good way to start, solo queue is not a bad way to meet people. You find people you like playing with, and make a team with them. Or you can just join some of the established teams already. There's quite a few out there, and if you go check on our forums, you can, check out the guilds and team whatever section, and try finding a team there. So basically, connect with people and just try playing with them as much as you can. Getting used to the communication is much more important than actually, figuring out who you're going to be playing with long term. But just, playing with a couple of friends, getting used to be like, okay, we're going to plan, this is our plan, we're going to execute this plan. Just trying to do that is really important.
So Holy Nuts, the glitch, that glitch where Kashka doesn't pouncy fun to Kraken, that is already fixed internally. So unless we run into some unexpected trouble, you should expect to see that fix in the next update.
Mm-hmm. And right here, we see Taka is actually doing quite well, 2-1-0, 20 CS. Actually, the second highest CS in the game. So the blue team, even though they're playing pretty aggressively, they're giving up a lot of farm. And that is one of the big problems when you're trying to do a lot of early invades, especially with your laner. Your laner, unless your laner is able to push in the enemy laner, and it's a Vox versus Vox, so that's incredibly hard to do, you actually will fall behind in farm, and that can be very detrimental.
So a great question out of chat from Amazing Omar. What do you think about Iron Guard contract and lane?
I'm drinking water, but I actually think I got contract in lane as like a secondary laner, not a solo laner, is actually incredibly good. I think the Iron God contract holder will actually make more money by sitting in lane than they will in jungle, just because the waves are more consistent. There are many more minions to be killed, and I think you actually make more overall. But ideally, what you want to be doing is you want Iron God contract near the jungle camps, and every time there's nothing left to do in the jungle, or if your solo jungler just needs like more EXP, more levels, and more gold, you let the solo jungler do their own thing while you're chilling around in lane, protecting your laner, and soaking up gold that way. And look at these scout traps. This is one of the big differences from lower elo to higher elo. You just see so many scout traps all over the place. This is a little bit aggressive from Tinker. He's jumping into the middle of the enemy team, but he will not be fine. Maybe he will be fine. He is totally okay, sort of. Oh, Fitch is dead. Okay, so right there, Arden protected his carry, that was great. I think it was worth it. Even though Arden was killed, being able to protect Tinker was probably a pretty good trade-off because, one, Tinker's able to wave clear. Two, they might potentially be able to fight after this gold mine is taken. And yeah, so Shin was able to pick up that kill with Tinker on his backside. If it was Arden with Shin, I don't think they would have gotten that kill. So trading your life or your carry's life is not a bad idea for the most part if you're playing like a tank or a support.
And just in general, I mean, especially for the lower elo games, can you talk a little bit about who you're focusing in fights and how you make the determination as to who's the best person to focus?
Okay, so this is actually a pretty tricky subject. The thing about targeting priority in fights is it depends on what you're playing. It depends on what the enemy team comp is. It depends on what your team comp is. It depends on what your team is trying to do. Like, if you're playing a triple range comp on your team, You just focus whoever is the closest target. It doesn't matter. Everyone in your team kites backwards. You all just hit whoever's the closest target. Because it doesn't matter if as long as you're hitting someone, you're doing damage. And as long as you're hitting the closest target, you're probably not in any danger either. Like as a sniper, as like the ranged weapon carrier of your team, you really want to be sure to just hit whoever you can. You don't really want to dive into the middle of the enemy team unless you're really far ahead and you were able to pick up some defense.
Is there something that more basic players can focus on, like open the scoreboard and see who has the most kills, or open the scoreboard and look and see if you have the most red or blue, or that kind of thing?
Not really, because that is just overgeneralizing it. I don't really want to do that because that could be kind of confusing. Because if you're just like, okay, focus person with the largest amount of kills, they might just kill you. Okay, so like you walk into their range, they do more damage than you can do to them, so they're gonna kill you. So that wasn't really worth it.
I love Chuck the Fold from the Fold podcast. He's like, tune in each Wednesday as SEMC tries to explain how to use Iron Guard contract correctly.
I know. It's changing every patch.
Iron Guard attitude, Chuck. Love you, Chuck.
Get that big little camp.
Big little. Hashtag big little.
Big little.
Such a dog.
Now that we've been on the Shadow of the Vein podcast, we're going to have to stop by the Fold if they'll have us sometime.
I agree.
That'd be fun. I do enjoy that podcast every Monday. Listen to my way on work.
So a question from Bentar, who is not Bentim. How do you use Stormguard Banner well? Like think about that situationally.
I usually use it if I'm playing I very rarely buy that item unless I'm playing a jungler that needs that single target damage, and I don't have another jungler that's really needing the gold. So if I'm playing like Glaive plus Arden, and those are our two junglers, and I'm playing either one of them, then I'll get the Stormguard because neither of us are going to do too much damage, and we're probably busy just ganking all over the place anyway, so I just want to clear the jungle as fast as possible, as opposed to trying to really hold on to that item for a while. So you can actually see here, turret's been taken down. This was approximately 8 minutes and 40 seconds in, comparing to the last game we watched, which was like 18 minutes before the first turret dropped. Like the moment the red team got a decent lead, they just went and took down a turret. And right now, they're going to be able to snowball. They are like 4K ahead now, and that's pretty, or 3K ahead. I can't do math. But that's a pretty significant lead. Right here, there's going to be a fight, but I think the red team's actually going to win this because they do have a pretty strong mid-game team comp. Let's see. Wicked Big Dog dropping. Tinker's actually going pretty low. Fitch is doing stuff. Shin. I don't think Shin should have chased off I mean, it worked out in the end, but I think it would have been better if Shin actually stuck with his team because they would have been able to clean out the other two much easier, and then the last member of the blue side would have had to retreat anyway and recall, and they would have gotten a free tower. But they're probably getting the free tower anyway, but I feel like they would have had more map control afterwards if they didn't chase them down. All right, right here we see the blue team. Yeah, so right there, 10 minutes and 30 seconds in, second tower down.
So I'm sorry.
Very methodical.
Right.
Go ahead.
I don't know if there's action here. I didn't want to interrupt you.
There's totally no action because they're going to run away.
So great question for Monster Deface. Does the jungle monsters, do they give you different levels of XP and gold than the lane minions? And if you're not aware of the nuances there, it's very important and can help you decide where you want your different heroes in lane or jungle.
Generally the jungle will give out more experience than the lane. Like if you have one person in the lane, one person in the jungle generally pays out a little bit more in terms of experience, but you get so much more gold in the lane that it really comes down to what is your hero needing more? Do you need more levels? Like, are you a Taka? Do you need levels? Okay, yes, you need levels, so you're going to hit level 6, you want to do the jungle. Right here there's a fight breaking out, but the red team is just, they're snowballing their lead. This is exactly what you want to do as a team. Like once you get that small lead, push. Just keep pushing that advantage. Sit on your enemy team. Make sure that they have no way to make a comeback.
And for Monster Deface, I think this is why you are seeing an influx of lane Kashkas, especially at high elo. Sometimes you see a Kashka with a Book of Eulogies in lane until 6 and then rotate down into jungle. The reason for that is precisely your question. It's because Kashka needs gold early to get to Aftershock. And so she can get a lot more gold in in lane, but then once she's got, that first big item, she can rotate down to jungle, focus on levels and on just doing damage to the 2 in jungle. So you'll see people, if they're gold starved, they really need that lane time to get the gold, but then maybe they rotate down to jungle depending on the comp.
Most definitely. I'm looking at the item builds this game. Actually, I don't know. I feel like Exception's build is a little bit risky with the amount of damage that Shin is putting out right now. He probably needs to build a little bit of just more defensive stats, and he probably should have gotten it earlier than before the Eve of Harvest even. So right here, this is just red team closing out the game. There's nothing the blue team can do. They are basically pushed so far back that anything the red team does, they're just gonna win the fight. But yeah, this is pretty much going to be the game. I don't really expect blue team to make a comeback here. I don't know. Maybe they're going to pull off a team unknown, but who knows? Who knows? I highly doubt it. But yeah, you can definitely see red team snowballing their lead. That's exactly what you want to do. Every time you get 2 kills, 1 kill, 2 kill, then you just go and take an objective, because what's the enemy team going to do? They don't want to fight you 3v1. They don't want to fight you 3v2. So you just have to just slowly force your way in. And even like when they're evenly matched teams, it's actually really interesting because neither team will really, in some evenly matched fights, everyone ends up with like 1 HP and everyone's just not dead. But like, which team wants to be aggressive? Which team doesn't want to be aggressive? And you can really see which team takes advantages off of that.
A ton of questions coming in about Saw. What do you think of Saw jungle support? And then also, do you prefer a weapon or a crystal Saw in lane?
I would never go as a support as Saw, because he has 0 utility. Yeah, I would never go into the jungle as a support Saw. I would, however, play a carry Saw in the jungle because that is actually quite effective. But I would most likely go Crystal. I think Crystal Saw is really, really good if your team is playing around you.
It sounds like I reinterpreted Monster D-Face's question to the question that I wanted it to be. So sorry about that. It sounds like he was saying, is the fatty health jungle monster, does that give more or less XP than the big littles? I think that was his actual question.
I think so, yes. Yes, yes.
I will unapologetically change questions into questions that I actually want to ask. All right.
Fair enough. So right there, a 15-minute game. Not even a 15-minute game, but that is pretty much a textbook example of like how you want to close out a game. You get a small lead. At one point, it was pretty even, and then red team got one good team fight and a turret, and then they're just ahead. And so the next team fight, they have an advantage going in, and they win the fight, they get another turret, and so on. Rinse, repeat. And if the blue team doesn't do anything about it, they're going to be losing gold mines, they're going to be falling behind. And the blue team didn't really have a better scaling late game comp because Arden, Taka, Vox is actually better. Like, Arden and Taka are better late game than Scarf and Koshka.
Do you want me to get Steve for this one?
Yeah, we can get Steve for this one. Let's play.
I don't know if they're going to be available. I'll go see. Hi, everybody. I'm Playoff Beard. This is Z Kent, who's teaching you guys, and Sugar Venom is over here just off camera, unfortunately. She can come say hi if she wants to, of course. We are post-game from ESL as the first cup winner was crowned. Saw some great storylines today. Strong effort out of Nemesis representing for North America on away turf on the EU servers. Red with fantastic showing from both their teams. We saw all-star teams like Collab perform quite well, but struggle in the late rounds to overcome the chemistry of teams that have played a lot more together. Amazing play out of Jetpacks with a crawl. A ton of Scarf today. I think some teams even overthought the Scarf, and I would have liked to see some more Scarf counters out of the play, and some wonderful comebacks, especially from a team that shall not be named, since Zekan tells me I might spoil some people who are waiting to watch the on-demand. But one team with a tremendous run in this tournament with some tremendous comebacks. So a great start to the ESL. I think even some more room for improvement. So we'll make sure those broadcasts just get better and better, being broadcasted out of Frankfurt as we go. And now Z-Kent is doing some coaching, doing some analysis.
We're going to do some
teaching.
hotness games because DJ, Mr. Special Guest DJ is the
All right, let me see if he's around.
Assuming he's actually available.
Say hi, Sugar Venom. Much cooler.
All right.
Hi, everybody. Hey,
Hello.
so can you talk a little bit about why in this most recent game they didn't take the minion mines early?
Because they didn't want to. So one thing about taking the minion mines early is that you're actually feeding a good amount of gold to your enemy laner, assuming that you aren't able to push your advantage. If you are able to push your advantage, having the extra beefy minions is actually very useful because you can literally take over the enemy jungle if you're... I think once you get to the turret right in front of the enemy base, the one where it's like a little choke point into the enemy base, if at that point I think taking a minion mine is fine because if you're able to take that, you can control the entire jungle. Like all 10 camps are yours, and I think that actually pays out more than lane minions. But if you're not able to push that advantage and you're just letting your enemies just constantly get more gold, get more farm, get more experience, that's actually a good way to let your enemies come back into the game.
Yep, and remember, if you get a minion mine and your other team doesn't, then you get to feed their laner.
Most definitely.
In a big, bad, horrible way.
Ooh, there's a guest that's the hotness. I'm going to invite him.
Nice work all the way up. How many numbers?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Very nice.
9 numbered guest.
All right,
I actually have a guest
account
account that's in Simply Amazing.
Yes. Really?
I'm currently undefeated. No one will ever know.
That's hilarious. So whoever asked that question there, I was there for you. Margus or Malgus, stay tuned for SEMC shirts. We don't have those yet, but we know people want them.
Alrighty.
We get that question a lot.
I hear
Who's
footsteps.
coming?
All right.
Take your
Do we
shirt
have
off.
DJ?
We do. We have DJ.
We have Andre.
We have DJ and Ubel Andre. I'm going to get out of the way, and I'll do ice, guys. Don't worry about that.
We need to
But the reason that I think this is going to be a lot of fun is we see internally, we're going to kind of take you inside the lair for a minute, where Andre tends to be very vocal in these playtests that we have internally, and oftentimes Steve seems to take the brunt of
guys should move onto camera.
that vocality. Yeah, come on, guys. Why are you off camera? I'm getting out of the way.
This is a professional set. We're gonna get walked over and sit down.
Yeah, please come sit down.
All right.
So,
get my own chair now.
Log in and add me.
what we want to do for this
I have you.
game?
Oh,
Oh no, I'm spectating on this one.
so we do need devices.
No, you can spectate with me.
Oh, we're just spectating?
Well, no, Steve has to play.
Steve is flying.
Okay.
Steve needs a device.
You can take that device, Steve, if you need a device. Do you need a device?
I do need a device.
All right,
you should play
so
on that
Steve
device.
is going to log in, but what we want to do, in addition to
Ooh, am I gonna
Zcant
run out
doing
of
his
batteries?
coaching, we want
Probably not.
Andre to bring
Okay.
his brand of
Feedback.
You're good.
feedback,
I'm
his
good.
brand of feedback
I'm gonna turn down
to
those
the
brightness.
broadcast.
Can I log into
Brightness,
my
thing.
own account?
Just log into something, man. It's on.
No, you log into your own account.
Log into your own account.
Don't worry, it's a private game. We won't pick on you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. While they're doing that, so DJ is going to play with some of you in a hotness tier match, and Andre is going to kind of
Make fun of him.
let Steve know what he thinks of the play.
It's good.
Now I feel bad because
Nah.
I know that everybody knows I'm very mean to people.
I didn't say you were mean. I just said you offer feedback. All right.
Alright,
So
add ZK into all caps.
all right, here we go with the ice
Just want to let
skillers.
people know.
Wait, you're supposed to add me?
No, wait.
Add
What am I supposed to
ZKNT all caps.
I might. Not your friend already?
ZKNT.
All right,
Oh, you are.
unspoken.
Okay, you are my friend.
Congratulations.
In that case, we're gonna invite Mr. DJ right here.
250 ice for
kick things off.
unspoken.
Alright, Mr. DJ, what are you going to play for us?
I want to play Jewel.
You're gonna play Jewel?
No, you have to play the hero you've played the least.
I think he should play. I think he should play Jewel.
No, he's played a lot of Jewel.
I think he should play Jewel. This is everyone is even skill level in this game. He should play his best.
I thought the whole point was for him to play his least experienced hero.
Oh my god.
That is up to you. Maybe you can do that next week.
I don't think his teammates would
I think that'd be
appreciate
so
this.
sad if I played Adagio.
Yes, play Adagio. Doesn't everyone want to see him play Adagio? Come on, play
I
Adagio.
have no idea what to do with
That's the whole
Adagio.
point. Is Andre's going to
Okay.
help you understand
Okay. Oh,
what you're
boy.
supposed to be doing.
Okay, here we go.
I think Megatroid and Soja Goku are raging so hard right now.
All right, so
This
unspoken wins
DJ
250
guy
ice.
was doing.
Soldier
Need your
Goku.
We're getting
players.
conned here.
Sorry, I don't play Adagio.
All right, that is kind of the point. Let's do 2 more ice winners. Hi, Miss Vixen, we love you. Turner
Alright, my
505.
strategy right off the bat, Andre, I'm gonna go Iron Guard and be a support.
That sounds good.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
You don't have to ask for his confirmation.
I don't know. I'm just here for the feedback.
I think he does.
Do what you can.
All right, for the winner, people who are winning ice, I'm sending you messages over Twitch. Find your Twitch inbox, reply with your player name, or you will not get Bupkis. Third winner is Me3. Me3
All right,
wins
let's
250
watch
ice.
This guy right here. We gotta
There you go.
expect this DJ fellow.
Yay! Whee! All right.
Alright, we got this DJ fellow. He is floating around, walking into some places, taking his time,
He is very
behind
behind.
his team.
I'm already.
He's already behind,
I'm
guys.
already behind.
This is a good sign. Already behind.
You need
30
to,
seconds into the game.
you need to let them hit you.
You don't
Oh wait,
need
no.
to.
See, I've been playing a
You
lot of
need
Eternal.
to
I've
let
been
them
playing a lot
hit
of
you.
Eternal. Okay, all right. This is different. This is different.
What do you mean? Iron Guard contract is
It's
live on
it's live.
1.4?
No, but it's a little different now, isn't it?
No,
No.
it's not different.
Okay.
Stop being confused, Steve.
All right.
Alright, what do you think of this play right here?
Why isn't he doing the thing?
I think you should go for the double camp first.
I think you should go for both camps at the same time.
I heard from Evan that I should go for the fat guy first and then go down to the little guy.
This is important for the people who can't hear Steve. The jungle camp, the heal camp at the top, you actually leashes longer. You can pull it down farther. It helps you get all three clumped together for the twirly death from Kashka.
There you go.
Now you know. So what should have happened was a Dodger should have hit the top camp, and then Kashka should hit the bottom camp. And right here,
Whoa.
some things are happening. Some things. DJ's throwing out some damage, scaring off your enemies. The flare's coming out. Things are happening. More jungle camps are dying. DJ doing some pretty good work right here.
I'm just.
He's
doing
just
the thing.
kind of chilling.
DJ, why didn't you use the Dark Parade Adagio skin?
I don't have it right now. What?
That's some weak tea out of you right there, man.
Well,
Couldn't even wear the
Yeah,
skin.
man, my tea's always sweet.
All right.
You don't have the skin.
I'm as confused
gonna
by this
check.
game as they look right now.
Oh no. I did the thing.
You did the thing. What'd you do?
I killed the minion when I wasn't supposed to.
That's fine. You can be a carry. Who needs a Kashka anyway?
I'm just gonna follow this Kashka around.
That's a good plan.
All right, solid plan coming out from DJ right here, following Kashka around.
You have the skin. Did you
Oh,
just
no,
fail
I
to
just-
select
I
it?
just, I just didn't select it.
So DJ right there giving away his position by
No,
attacking
I
the
have
lane
skin,
minions.
Evan. I just didn't select it.
Not optimal play there.
He wants them to know he's there.
Yes. It's not sending a message sometimes. Sometimes you have to be like, I am here, announce your presence, so your opponents know exactly where you are.
That's right.
Why wouldn't he select the skin?
I like tier 1, tier 0, tier prime Adagio.
Vanilla.
Vanilla Adagio.
Mm-hmm. Alright, Soldier Goku taking the majority of the farm in the jungle as he should because DJ does have the Iron Guard contract. Is there anything you think DJ should be building towards? He doesn't actually have any items and he's sitting on 700 gold, which, considering you passed by the shop a couple of times, is a little bit, like, quite a bit of gold that you're sitting on.
I know.
You should probably
I'm
go
gonna
buy
go
some
for
things.
it. Give me a second.
No, you should probably go to lane.
I thought you were following
That's what
Kashka.
I was gonna try to do, but then
Stick with the
someone's like,
plan.
sitting on so much gold. I need headphones. I need headphones to just not hear with your commentary.
Alright. Shop quicker.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Shop quicker.
Follow that recommended build path.
Alright, the energy barrier, the hourglass. I don't know about that build.
It's recommended.
Alright, it's recommended. He's going with recommended build. Come on, Steve, you're in hot niche. You should go past the recommended builds by now.
I hate that.
You've learned so much. Alright, we got Soldier Goku, level 4, DJ level 3.
This jungle seems very
Oh.
slow.
Yep. They're taking their time in the jungle. You know, just one camp at a time. I'm surprised that DJ didn't pick up boots. I would recommend boots.
Yeah?
They're
Oh.
very, very good on
Especially since
Adagio.
Tasha's so
ABB,
fast.
always be bootsin'.
Well,
True.
it's more of the fact that Adagio can activate his boots and run out with Gift of Fire and slow someone and then kill someone in lane.
I see.
But it's okay. You don't need to have boots. They're just kind of nice to have.
I think he
Nice
needs
to
them.
has. I think I'm gonna get it right now. I feel
There.
too slow.
Very nice to
I
have.
feel very slow. I need some new kicks.
Oh
There you go.
boy. Alright, DJ is chilling.
This
Just
is
chilling.
everything has just been chilling. There's really nothing to critique here.
Yep, nothing's happening.
Just waiting for a thing.
We need to wait for some things to happen.
The real platypus, we were planning on removing the ESL 1.5 minute delay, or however long that delay is. But as some people know, we had to go on the air much
Someone
sooner
got
than
hit
we
by Scout Trap.
expected
Exciting.
to
Damage
actually
has happened.
shoutcast the end of that match.
I'll buy 2 Scout Traps.
So we're
No, I
stuck
didn't
with
say
it
buy
for
Scout
this
Traps.
broadcast.
I mean, you.
Well,
There's nothing wrong with buying scout
This is a
traps.
pretty popular place to put a Scout Trap. I see that online.
That is a pretty popular place to put
It
scout
is.
traps.
As
Alright, more players coming out. Scout traps are being revealed.
they must really want to see what's in that bush.
There are some exciting things in that bush. There could even be enemies. Alrighty. So, more farming. So, what do you think about this farm heavy early game?
Yeah.
I think it's very boring.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I don't think this is the way you get ahead in a game. This is how you go even in a game. I don't know if you guys have a very late game team comp.
Kills do lead to victories,
This is true.
so I've been told.
Also, stealing enemy jungle camps also leads to victory. So, this is an example of how not to get ahead in a game, but also how not to fall behind. But
Oh my God.
because the red team does have a here things are happening.
Yes.
I'm getting jumped on, and everyone's running away. Okay, exciting things have happened. Taka's coming in. He is level 6. He's gonna do some serious work, but he's getting exploded. And
Heal something.
Soldier Goku going down.
Do damage.
DJ,
Oh
get
my
dropped.
God.
And that right there is why you don't sit around farming against Ataka and Arden and Celeste. Right there is exactly why you don't sit around and
I
farm.
was playing a very good game of Follow the Leader. I'm following this.
You didn't even do that well because you left your Koshka to go shop.
So Ryan Pauly asking, so 5 of these players are hotness, and then 1 player is DJ.
What?
Well, DJ technically is also hotness
With one character.
with one character named Jewel.
That's true.
Yes, so not much experience for DJ on Adagio, but that's the whole point. So we can hear Ubel Andre explain to him the errors of his ways.
Most definitely.
Well, his biggest error is farming now, which is weird because you're supposed to do that.
You're usually supposed to do that.
Is this the point that is this the part of the game where I'm supposed to sell Iron Guard now?
No, you won't ever do that unless
Yeah.
you are maxed out. Because there's no reason to, and it's kind of a waste of gold if you do. You get 150 back, but that's not really making up for how much you're losing.
Let's see.
Alrighty, so right here, it's already past the point where the red team really has a chance to invade. But earlier on in the game, they definitely should have gone to the enemy jungle. Definitely should have tried to take some camps, take some fights. Because Koshka and Adagio will definitely beat up Ataka and Arden in the jungle. Easily 2v2.
I don't know why he revealed himself because
That's another thing.
Oh
Don't
my
randomly
God.
reveal yourself to your opponents. And things are happening, but it's totally okay. Alright, we
So
see
we have
Hilo
a carry.
Genocide falling around.
this is a very awkward position.
That leads
So,
in.
this is an opportunity for red team to actually push the lane, but they're actually just walking back to the jungle and trying to make that suppression, which makes absolutely no sense, so don't do this. This is how you don't play a game sometimes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Nah, but overall, in that situation, well,
Heals someone.
I'm
Oh,
trying to.
alright. Attack something. Attack something.
you're
I'm attacking
dead.
the thing. Yay! We almost killed one.
Bentar1 says you're DJ-ish.
See, there you go. That's pretty good.
Solid. Just DJ-ish. Oh, things are happening. Did he just?
He just ulted.
The gold mine, right?
Yeah, but
Okay. Maybe he'll get it. Let's watch.
no.
Oh.
Wore off. Maybe the gold mine gets Haka. Aww.
Aw. Good try, gold mine. But in that situation where you see the entire enemy team loop around on you, and you're not really sure where they are, there's no reason to walk down into them. You might as well just push the lane because
Right.
it forces the enemies to come to you, and you'll have minions backing you up when you
I'm
fight.
gonna do the thing where I'm gonna
Keep your
pretend
support
that
in
I
the
can
bush.
catch up.
What does that mean, DJ?
That means that I'm just gonna steal every farm as much as I can.
Oh, you're going to just start stealing the jungle farm now.
Yes.
So that
Don't do that.
Alright. So DJ hitting level 6, kind of a power spike for Adagio because he's able to put a little bit more pressure on the enemy team with that Burst of Judgment. However, right here they're running into the enemies. And
All right,
they,
nope. Oh,
channel,
something.
maybe? Nope,
Nope,
he is getting stunned, and he's done for.
Oh, everybody's stunned. Literally everyone is stunned.
How did that happen?
Whoa.
Wow.
The Celeste is, how, you mean? How? The Celeste is how?
How did that happen?
From the corner.
Celeste.
How happened?
G's Monster believes
Pro tips
DJ
from the
is
chat.
going ham. Watch out.
All
There you
right.
go.
We need some pro tips from the chat.
Yeah,
From
go
the
ham.
chat.
Go ham.
DJ has finished off. He doesn't even have his ult.
What?
Why? My mind is blown.
Mine is blown.
I was not ready for this.
Wait, a clockwork and he didn't take Verse of
I
Judgment?
didn't.
He didn't take Verse of Judgment.
I was not ready for DJ.
So-
DJ has blown my mind.
So just to be clear, maybe he's been watching Shinkaigen with the weapon adagio where you could make a case for this, but not with this build.
I don't think he's been watching it, or he wouldn't have stuck with the recommended build.
True.
It's true.
All right, so things are looking pretty rough for the blue side. It's the red side.
He needs a little, another level. He's almost there.
He does
Almost
need another
there.
level.
Almost at
So
that
he can
level
finally
7
get that
bonus.
ultimate at level 7.
Normally I'm opposed to this, but he should just farm one thing.
Take it. This is yours. This is your time.
Yeah!
You-
Got it.
all right. You, have
You
your
did not
ultimate.
level it.
I upgraded the
There you go.
level.
You
There
leveled
you
up
go.
the ultimate.
Okay.
That is what you need.
That's right.
And now you have a chance to do something in the fight. I also highly recommend building a reflex block.
Do you?
I do. They kind of have a stun, which you get hit by every single time.
Oh boy, here we go.
All right, things are happening.
Oh,
DJ
there
is
you
probably
go.
going to die,
Yeah.
but he challenges zombies. And this is why.
This is
This is why.
So,
very hard to watch.
This is tough times. This is rough times. It really is. This is what we have to deal with in the office.
This team is just falling apart.
Spearheaded by
It'll
DJ.
get there. It'll get there.
It's okay.
I-
Mega Triad is kicking butt. He's got
This
61
is-
CS. He's 2-1-0.
Just because you are getting there does not mean you will get there.
This is called rope.
This is true.
he says this is called rope-a-doping.
Right.
I don't even understand anymore.
Ubel Andre much more reserved than in the dev playtest.
That's my first time
He's
streaming. I'm
keeping-
nervous.
He's keeping the stream PG-13-ish.
Yes, our internal dev matches are definitely not PG, maybe PG-13.
Anything.
Not even PG-13.
I think you definitely need parental guidance while.
I need to bring my parents to the office to actually work here.
I brought in a note from my parents one day.
Oh man. Alright, DJ and his team.
Sitting
running
on a scout
traps,
trap.
Doing work.
Got trapped.
Well, they love revealing themselves, so.
This is true. And getting jumped on right now.
Oh my
He's
god.
channeling his
And he
ultimate
didn't make it
and
ult, and he didn't even get it!
And he's
Almost.
dead. Okay. That's happened. DJ is now dead again.
So is Ringo.
Mega Triad also dead. So this is where the blue team should be pushing.
Oh, it's Mega Triad? I'm so sorry.
What do you think it was?
Megatroid? Like Megatron?
No, it's Triad. Because he spelled it differently.
Sid No kept saying
That's
adagio
correct.
is so useless.
I just can't
Now,
read.
So
I-
good choice by the blue team.
I
Right
couldn't
here.
disagree more. If you watch Vainglorious tier play, we saw there was a Vox Kashka Arden comp that was very popular, and that has since migrated into a Vox Kashka Adagio comp because Adagio is such a great counter to a Kashka Arden jungle. So if you think that Adagio is useless, you're not watching enough Vainglorious tier play. Go check out Xenotech or Fuji or Iraqi Zoro,
Oh
Hardik,
my
Love Ice Forever.
God.
Oh, no.
Oh my god!
Did he just teleport? He teleported on that bush.
I have nothing more to say about this game. I'm done here, guys. See you next week.
So a little window into our playtest.
All right, so things are going okay-ish. Not really. They're 6K down. That's not too bad, right? It's
Why is
only
this thing
14
not
minutes
on?
into the game.
Oh my God.
Things are looking pretty grim. Not gonna lie.
Took him like.
For the record, though, like he's a good Jewel player, I would say, which is, and I put him on the spot. I made him play Adagio, but
This is all you're doing, Evan. What have you done? Alrighty. In any case, DJ helping out his lane push a little bit. So this is actually solid.
Oh my
the
god.
Samat says nerf DJ.
Here we go. Things
Oh.
are happening. He ulted. Why?
He
What?
did not-
I don't
He-
know.
why did he do that?
Ult with Adagio. I don't
All right,
get it.
it's cool. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay. Don't
It's
worry
okay.
about it. So, in case you haven't played Adagio before, the way you use his
Oh
ultimate
no, he's dead. The
is-
bleed.
My turn.
Oh, Taka might die. No.
Nope.
Wow.
Captain
Alright.
Nito is here.
So-
I think he smelled the blood from the other room.
Pretty much.
So on Adagio, you usually want to get your you have to be burning people.
You want
or
to
else you just don't do anything.
you want to be better at Adagio.
You want to just be better at
It's
Adagio.
very helpful right there.
If you want to play
More pro tips
Adagio,
from
just be better at
the corner
Adagio.
and or the chat.
He's looking for the pro tips from the chat because Ubal Andre is not helping.
I don't know how to help. A man, take everything you're doing and do
The opposite.
not that. Not the opposite. I think
All right.
somehow the opposite would be worse.
So watch DJ's Adagio play and then do the opposite and you will climb to pinnacle of awesome.
All right.
Alrighty.
All right.
So I'm just
Go in there, heal yourself, ult, do something. Yep, it's okay, just stand there. Yep, cool. Now,
Efficient use of your abilities right there. How to cast one spell during a fight.
yep. Now in
Not
22
recommended.
seconds, do the same thing except tap other players and push buttons.
He's a very good Jewel player. Silence.
The silence is deafening.
I don't even think they get another chance at this.
I don't think so. I think it's pretty
that's
overs.
it.
Alright, game closed out in 16 minutes. The blue side seriously showing the red
Hold on,
team
wait.
what's up.
Hold on,
DJ
wait.
not giving
There
us.
we go.
Oh, I think you
Coming
stunned a
back.
total of 0 people this game.
He stunned no one.
I think he flashed off 2 ultimates, stunned no one, died 7 times.
I think the only time he set up a stun was because he healed someone else, whom the enemy team was chasing, and he just happened to be randomly ulting while they were running through.
Let's go back to the big cam so we can see our special guests here. All right, DJ in the back.
Hello.
Congratulations, DJ. Thank you for being,
I'm sorry,
being a
Mega
good sport.
Triad. Mega
Triad.
Triad.
Mega
Ubal,
Triad. I
Ubal
learned that too.
Andre is here. He's like 8 feet tall, as is Vanessa. I tried to walk down the street with them yesterday, and I felt like a tiny, tiny person. And then our head of creative, our lead hero designer, Captain Nito. On top of everything, if you've said it in the chat, he's probably already implemented it or laughed in your face. One or the other,
What are
but
the
he's
other-
aware.
Likely the laughter. Likely the laughter.
Yes, it is.
Alrighty. And this device is running low on batteries, so one more game, or do we want to call it a day?
I don't know. Let's ask the boss.
Alright, boss. What say you?
I think we should do another game.
Alright, let me
I feel like that seems to be it should
let me
be
get
a
that
game.
device over there, DJ.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
Look at that. The shields are coming out of his pants. He just pulled that shield right out of his pants.
Amazing. That's next level play right there. Alrighty.
Poor Ringo. Had double infusion
Ubal
ready
Andre
and
is
could
just,
not respawn.
he's just staring at the item builds from the last game. Like he cannot get over it.
Alrighty. Let me turn the
They
Wi-Fi
didn't even
off on
build-
this.
So I originally came in here to see if Andre had finished that build.
I did.
Did you?
I did.
All right, that's awesome.
You just have to build the server now.
Sorry, everyone. We're talking about secret stuff. Cannot say.
So many
Oh,
secret
I
So
have to build the server.
playtest
All right.
for possibly the
playtest.
next.
something.
Next thing
The
in the
next
game.
some-
something
in
that
the
we might be
game?
playtesting.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, I'll build the server. Is basically the short answer.
Excellent. That has nothing to do with all of you. That is just
Nothing to
internal.
do with all of you. Sorry, guys. Brief moment of business.
Ooh, inside baseball conversation.
All right.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I am gonna hand out some ice. Thank you, for how long?
Hello? Okay, there we go.
And that's all you need to know
I wonder what
about.
caused that.
So now you've explained how to climb to Vainglorious.
Hero.
Now that we've told you all about the newest hero in Vainglory, we'll go back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Indeed. All right, we're hopping into game with some pretty good players. Literally, we got Guest 15113461.
Yeah!
Godly Nuts, Black Kitten, Matt Palm Q, Stormbringer, and Gamer Yoshi.
And we have another ice winner. Congratulations to Sammy Wu. There we go.
This guy.
All right, if you win ice, you
The
gotta
sound just went
reply.
super mega loud, so I'm sorry for about 10 seconds.
Oh no!
You guys will survive. I promise. It was turned down hopefully pretty quickly.
Find your Twitch inbox and reply to the message if you won
But
the
some ears might have
icicles.
exploded.
All right, so just to recap, since we were muted, Sammy Wu, 250 ice, Hellraiser Manchu, 250 ice, JD Certified, 250 ice, then older ones, me 3, Turner 505, Unspoken, the number 1, Fi Dudui, and Mojo Joe Likes Coco, and 1 Demon King 1. Give us your player name, find your Twitch inbox, reply to the message we've sent, and give us your player name, and you will get your ice. If you cannot figure out how to do it, and you have been a randomly selected winner of ice, you can always send an email to support@superevilmegacorp.com, and we will get you your ice. You know, we weren't planning on talking about the new hero, but you know,
Yeah.
when
and
Captain EO
just
comes
the hero.
in, you never know what happens.
It's in the archive.
I think we lost someone.
I think we lost someone as well.
If anyone,
Unfortunate.
you just cancel the game.
So what happens when I lose someone?
What?
That sounds like a.
Well, we were already in the game,
Can you exit the game?
but they're playing a game.
They have to surrender.
All right, I have to communicate that. No, he's.
Are they gonna?
I think he'll be back.
All right, we'll see what happens.
He's technically in the game. He's fighting to reload.
Maybe
So,
we'll see.
Weighing on Black
Was it
Kitten.
Scarf? Was it Black
I
Kitten?
think it was Kotska.
Yep.
Well, it's okay. Scarf is also taking his time.
Oh, Reggie. Oh, Reggie. That's the lesson right there. You got to follow the channel. If you don't follow the channel, you
Scarf
can't
is
win the
evening
ice.
things out.
So
It's
sad.
okay. Worth. They're taking their time. It'll be a 2v2 for a bit. Scarf is back. Koshka's not quite here yet. We'll see what happens. Oh, Koshka's here. Okay, we're good. See, both of them camping at the same time. It was all planned.
We did it, everybody.
Oh man, the cojones on this. I thought it was Ringo who was going cojones out.
I would.
But
What are they gonna do? There's 2 melees chasing a ranged character. I mean, I would never be scared of that. Alright, it looks like Kroll's doing some work. Scarf is coming in. Burns the Ringo, however, what's gonna happen? Ringo is taking some serious damage. The boots on the Scarf are gonna kill him, most likely.
Are they getting called
Goodbye.
away?
Oh my god.
I think the QA members, I think Ubal Andre and DJ are getting called back to their playtesting duties on something new that is coming to the fold.
Koshka, what are you
So
doing?
I'm gonna
thank
go
you for
find
joining
broken
us.
things. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having me, everybody, and for the lessons, the pro tips
The
coming
lessons.
from
Excellent
the front
tips.
seat.
Excellent tips. Alright, looks like red team's taking a pretty quick
All right,
break.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
And it looks like Black Kitten's having some connectivity issues, so that's really unfortunate. Hopefully she gets back in the game pretty soon. And right now it looks like the red team's gonna have a pretty good time for a bit. They have the Scarf in lane, they got the double jungle, double stuns really, so Catherine, Jewel. I like that combo a lot, it's pretty solid. One thing on Catherine, even though it's not too hard to deal with her, like if she runs at you, you can slow her, you can run away from her. If she has another stun following her up, or someone to set up a stun beforehand, like the Jewel, then she's actually incredibly effective because being able to change the stuns means you're almost guaranteed a kill.
So something we actually saw in the VGL recently was a team of 2 defeating a team of 3 in competitive play. It was so much fun to watch. If you find yourselves in like a solo queue match and someone, like maybe they ran out of battery power, you don't know what happened, they're just someone suddenly gone, how do you adjust your play to try to stay in the game if you're not going to just surrender, if you're going to give it a go?
I will actually say I won my first share of 2v3s, and I actually find it like more of a challenge. I'm not really, for the most part when I play a game, I'm not actually trying super hard to win. I'm mostly trying to just push myself to my limits. So it's more of, okay, even though we're down a player, how well can I play these fights? Like, if I'm playing like a sniper, if I'm playing Ringo, if I'm playing Fox, if I'm playing whatever, I'm gonna try my best to keep my positioning really, really solid and just see what I can do. Like, if I can stay in a safe position and just kite back like crazy, I can win these fights even without an extra player.
There's always more you can learn. You know, even in a 2v3, there's a lot you can learn from that situation. And if you play really sound, you know, who knows what will happen. A lot of the times, like what we saw in VGL, what the team of 3, they'll take chances they don't normally take. They'll make decisions they wouldn't normally make because they assume the other team can't possibly win. So it's a nice, you know, maybe you don't want to do it every time, but, you know, if you want a special challenge, you know, go for it and see if you can catch them, you know, maybe steal a Kraken or steal a gold mine, you know, play positionally sound and see what you can do.
Most definitely. All right, so right now, even though the blue team is, like, Kashka was disconnected for a little bit, they're behind, but they're only down by about 1.2k, which is significant early on. But I think it's going to be, let's just see how well the red team will that game, or if they can at all. So right now, the double stuns is actually very, very good for them because they're going to be able to, ooh, man.
Yeah, so for the people asking if we know Lady Wabish is live, we're going to host her after this game. Thank you so much for joining us today. Friday on the regular dev stream, we are going to have a new skin theme reveal. It's one of my favorites, so be sure to tune in for that.
Most definitely. And right there, you see the power of the early game Scarf. Scarf does fall off a bit more later, like mid and late game. However, his early game, he's definitely one of the strongest heroes in the game at the moment. Evan, take over for me. I need some water. My throat's really, really dry.
Absolutely. We don't want to kill Zken. That would be bad. I will spectate. He always spectates, so I'm not used to doing this part of it, but it's probably good that I can. So just looking at the builds real quick, we see a Weapon Ringo. We see, I love it, we see Black Kitten going, a full Crystal Kashka start. The Crawl has some attack speed, so kind of a hybrid there. And on the other side, the full weapon Jewel, starting that double weapon blade can definitely work out. So we'll see how this goes. What you want to see on Kroll at this point is to be maxing Spectral Smite if he's going to be focusing attack speed. We have a full fight breakout now.
Alright, things are happening. It looks like the red team has been taken fairly low, however they were able to take out the Cruel. And in this situation, I would actually go for a bit more defensive stats early on. With the recent patch 1.4, our defensive items are actually quite powerful early in the game. Like getting a light shield, getting a light armor will actually dramatically increase the amount of damage you can take. Just because all the stats are like, the base defense were buffed by 10, and that's actually really, really big, especially for the price point. 250 gold for a massive pile of stats. Quite powerful. And right here we have Storm Ringo getting chased down by Ringo. This is one of the definitely power points of Ringo versus the Scarf matchup. If Scarf misses his Spitfire, Ringo can run him down the lane and just completely wreck him. However, not quite enough damage on Ringo quite yet. So Scarf was able to get out of that one.
Question from DJ Master 135. When do you think you should play a Weapon Vox or a Crystal Vox in a game scenario?
So Weapon Vox and Crystal Vox. Crystal Vox is really, really good at fighting in team fights. However, if you want to just burst one person down, going with the Weapon Vox is actually a much better choice. So let's say you have a really strong set of junglers. Let's say you have what the red team has. They have Catherine, they have Jewel, who can stun someone up for days. If you're playing a Weapon Box, and those two come in the lane and get stunned here later, you're 100% going to get killed. Unless they have like some absurd amount of tankiness, you will 100% get killed out of Weapon Box, and Crystal Box might not be able to do that. However, in team fights, Crystal Box he's just incredibly powerful. Because if the enemy team pumps up, you just do so much damage to them. Just the resonance procs jumping from one to another, and you can completely take over a fight like that. Alright, we have Gamer Yoshi and Storm Ringo pushing up the lane. Let's see what they're gonna do. Right now, Black Kitten's actually come back into this game quite well. He's level 5, however, they only want to take this fight because the entire red team is level 6 or above. So they have all their ultimates, and the red team does not quite have theirs. So right there, I think if the blue team had more of their ultimates, they could have had more of a chance in this fight. Ooh, Jewel taking a lot of damage. Godly Nuts is actually... So, that was actually a mistake from Black Kittens. Black Kittens walked next to Kroll to make splash damage on the Fan of Flames perk do damage to the Kroll. and probably got him killed, so that was a little bit unfortunate right there. Catherine running down. So right here, this is a chance to do some pretty decent damage to the turret. The red team was kind of low, so they took the opportunity to back off and make sure that they come back stronger in the next fight. And right here, the blue team's going to be in a pretty big amount of trouble. It's really up to, let's see if this Ringo can take advantage of these tension bow procs though. If you can use your tension bow on cooldown on the enemy laner without them trading back on you, you can easily get an advantage in lane just because of how much damage you're doing. And right here, he is kind of chilling around, but Jewel is in lane, so not really gonna pick on Scarf too much. And Scarf is already 5 to 2, so could be a little bit rough, but still doing a good amount of damage.
Be sure to stay with us after this game. 3 more ice winners, and then we're gonna host Lady Wabish. I'd like everyone to join me with a big Super Evil Mega Raid. Make that a lot of fun.
And right here, blue team is going in. They are level 6 now, and right here could be a jump 3. However, this Dragon's Breath comes out from Scarf, so that's one of the dangers of taking Joel to find the enemy jungle. Right there, they thought they had Joel. She escaped with a sliver of HP, but walking into a bush where you have no vision, it's actually against the casting on Scarf who have pretty big AoE ultimates. It's entirely dangerous. Black Casey here, however, might take down. So Matt decided that he was going to die, so he just let himself die. So the only questionable whether Black Casey's probably got burned down from this. Yep. So nice fire coming down from Storm Ranger. Really, really good shot right there. Just taking a few jungle camps, might as well take any farm you can. Don't want to waste any time. He wasn't really going to miss any farm in the lane anyway, so taking an extra jungle camp, just a good way to boost up your gold. So right here, it's 3 to 11, 3.7k to 5.6k, so not massively. 2k is pretty good, but it's really the levels that I think that are going to make a big difference. So 789 on the red side and 786 on the blue, and that's going to be making a really big difference, especially for heroes that really rely on their abilities. Koshka, most of her damage comes from her abilities. Cruel, same thing. He needs that level 10 or level 11 to have both his A hands be maxed, or even a third point in his ultimate. I generally like having just 1 point in his ultimate until his other abilities are maxed though, because being able to be more survivable, be that nuisance in a team fight is very, very important. So right here, 1.8k down, not too bad. Looking at the item builds, Shadowgrass coming out on the Scarf, really, really good. He's gonna have a lot of damage. Trying to prevent that leg king fall off as much as possible, like going with more damage. Cruel with the aftershock. He's not very tanky right now. I think he needs to build probably a little bit of tankiness just because the enemy team has so much damage at their head. And I'm very surprised that the blue team has not built any sort of defensive items. They have no reflex box. They literally have boots and damage, like tension bows, aftershocks for days. But they're just gonna melt right here because they don't have. Well, they are sort of melting. Yeah, they're kind of melting. Catherine might be going a little bit too hard though. Black should drop right here, assuming that she gets hit by anything. Nope, she dies. Okay, that was expected. And this is actually a good opportunity for the red team to do some damage to this turret because Ringo is going to drop. That was very questionable there. Ringo needed to either hide behind the turret or just not be there because the minion wave was going to die and the Scarf was kind of standing there, very obviously trying to throw a Spitfire onto Ringo, and giving away that free shot was not the wisest choice. So 3k advantage to the red side, and right there, instead of taking a gold mine, the red team should have pushed this turret down. There's no reason to give up a turret when it's free. And a turret is almost always more important than a gold mine. Alright, Cameron Yoshi jumping onto the turret with that Rocket Leap. I don't know if I agree with that one, but it should be just fine. Guess taking a good amount of damage from that Spitfire. And right now, level 998 to 9910, so just 2 level damage coming out from the red side. However, their EXP bars are looking a little bit better, though Ringo's almost level 10 too, so who knows. If the blue team can stall out on this, they can definitely make a comeback. Cruel is a really strong late game, Ringo's really good late game. Scarf does fall off, and he does have the majority of the kills on the red side. So if they're able to stall out just long enough, they could make a comeback. Though Jewel will still be doing a lot of damage. The blue team can itemize against her and just dramatically reduce damage they're taking. However, taking these, I don't know. Oh, Scarf goes down. There you go, the Cruel's doing some work. However, he's gonna be dropping. Okay, so you don't really want to take fights when you're behind, because you want to force your enemies to die of your turrets. You want to make sure that you basically fight in advantageous positions. And right now, the blue team is kind of taking every single fight that's offered to them, and that's really a good way to allow your enemy team to snowball more onto you. So if you're behind, just try making small comebacks. You want to let your enemies dive to protect your turrets, make your enemies make poor decisions, camp bushes, find ways to make your enemies make a mistake instead of just running headlong into the enemy team when you know you're behind. Alrighty. I'm gonna drink a little bit more water. My throat is getting tired.
Sorry, I'm just getting ready for the putting up a new feature in the news feed.
Alrighty, so Ringo clearing out waves. And the team's going in. Cleveland Russian comes out, but it's not going to be doing too much damage. This is a weapon tool, so a little bit questionable there. However, Godly Nuts is going to be taken down by that blast run was fantastic. I don't know if she's going to be able to pick an over and kill 2 more seconds on the. Oh, okay, Ringo's dead. So this is a really good opportunity for the red team to take out 2 turrets. That is exactly what they should do. Push, push, push. Please push, please push, please push. No, red team, no! Push, 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 push. Okay, Scarf's got the right idea. The other 2, I don't know about them. They're kind of wandering off into the middle of the jungle. They definitely could have done some serious damage to this turret or even taken it down, and that's a much larger advantage than you would have gotten than running into the enemy jungle. Like, if you take down a turret and the enemies aren't there, you are basically giving your team 900 more gold. On top of being able to back up and clear the jungle on your way out, as opposed to just running into the jungle right immediately and clearing that out. So I definitely think that was a little bit of a misplay right there by the red team. But, you can learn from it every time.
All right, do you think Jewel's in a good place now? I certainly do.
I think Jewel is fantastic. I love playing Jewel. She is fun. You can jump on people, and if Jewel is really good when ahead. She's actually quite strong early and mid game, and even late game. If the enemy team doesn't build too much armor, or your team has a bone saw on someone else, it allows Jewel to do a lot of damage with your Thunder Strike.
Modern Silver wants to know if you think Krull is good as a tank on a team.
Oh, definitely. Like, if you saw it in the ESL series today, like, Krull doing some seriously good work on the team as a tank. Like, he can soak up a lot of damage, he can reduce the amount of damage the enemies start doing to your team, and he can basically 1v1 almost anything in the game.
All right, when this match is over, 3 more ice winners, and then we're going to do a Super Evil Mega Raid of Lady Wabish.
Alright, so blue team should be running here. That's a good choice. You don't want me taking these dangerous fights. Oh, however, Krull gets jumped on. That kind of frenzy comes out, and this is not a blue team mistake, so a little bit unfortunate that Krull got caught out there, so that's going to probably be another turret in theory. They can probably face tank this with Jewel. She can do it, but they have minions pretty close by, so Doug can clear that out real quick, and then take down this turret. Please take down this turret. Do it, do it. You know you want to. Oh, Storming, you're taking a lot of damage, but he's just fine. His allies are pretty tanky. They should be okay. Here, Yoshi gonna take a little bit of damage, but they're just gonna burn that turret, and there's not too much the blue team can do it back and sing. They're all dead.
Allied turret destroyed.
Black team's actually doing quite well because actually disconnected for a little bit. 4, 6, and 0. So, never give up. I do think it should be relatively easy for the red team to close this game out because they do have pretty long range poke. Jewel's Thunder Strike, pretty long range. Scarf, Spitfire, also pretty long range. So it's really gonna be up to them to close this game out before the blue team is able to build up more items and just become more tanky. Because once they get to like the mid to late game, I do think the blue team's team comp is actually stronger. Right now, blue team trying to make a good pick in the bush. This could be really, really good for them. Could be. Oh, this could be fantastic. Maybe. No? Okay. I really think Krull should have thrown out his from health card right there. That was a pretty free pick onto Jewel, and that would have actually allowed for them to do a 2v3, and that could have turned the tides a little bit, though they are still very far behind. Alright, Ringo getting hit by that Spitfire. Gets taken out by a Thunder Strike. Laser Beam comes out, big red button, doesn't quite kill Koshka, and there's gonna face tank this turret and take it down, maybe. One small trick on Joel you can do. You saw right there that Gamma Yoshi actually just took a shot from the turret from behind. He actually could have turned around while the shot was bouncing and reduced the amount of damage that he took from the turret. Alright, burn the turret down. Just one more shot should do it. Spitfire's coming out left and right. Black Kid is not in a good spot. Joel's gonna jump right on top of him and finish him off. So definitely not something what you want to do. Defending a turret that's already dead won't really be very good for your team. So basically just forcing another 2v3 on the map by jumping in right there. A little bit unfortunate. Alright. Gamer Yoshi charging back into the game. 5-1-11. Doing some serious work. I actually dislike the tension bow on Jewel. Even though you can get some pretty good burst out of it, I think just building other items is far more effective. Like getting a Tyrant's Monocle or going for another Star Blade will give you much more damage in the long run than the tension bow.
A tension bow weapon, Joel?
Yep.
Yeah,
I've
not a
seen
fan
couple
of that. Not a fan of that. I've been really enjoying. Obviously, Sorrow Blade, fantastic. Even 2 Sorrow Blades potentially. A Serpent Mask works really well. A Tornado Trigger works really well.
Alright, nice fight from the blue team. They're able to maybe get a 2v3, but guess 1-1, 1-5, 1-1 is going to drop to the Spitfire and Phantom Flames perk. Black team jumping in, but I don't really think he's going to be able to do too much. He's just get shot by Spitfire and taken down by Stormbringer and Matt Palmer. Bellybuck is running, but I don't know if he's going to be able to make it out of this one. This looks pretty grim for him. He's dead. Goodbye.
Allied hero
So
killed.
really good. Pushing the advantage that they have is the red team. They might be able to take Kraken down, and I think that'll actually just end the game because I don't think the blue team's gonna be able to take it down after it gets captured. But you never know. I've been wrong many times. Hopefully I'm not this time. From right here, just auto attacking it, killing that Kraken slowly but surely. There's nothing the red blue team can do about this. They're not gonna spawn in time, so. This is definitely going over to the red side, and they should be able to take it for a game-ending push. Oh my gosh, the big red button comes out for no good reason, but good use of an ultimate right there. Would not recommend it, but for, you know, swag points. It's all about that swag sometimes.
All right, I'm going to actually start doing the final 3 ice winners. All you have to do is be following the channel, and you are eligible to win ice.
Alright, we're going to see Kraken stomp down the lane, and that should pretty much end things. I don't really see the blue team clearing this one out. Well, Scarf is kind of chilling in the middle of nowhere, so maybe they're going to be able to take a fight right here, 2v3. But they have no idea Scarf is there, so Scarf is like buying items and selling items and just doing things. This is interesting.
The Forgiven wins 250 ice. Need your player name. Find the message I just sent you on Twitch.
That damage coming out from Jewel. That is a power thunder strike on Jewel. She can explode turrets so easily, and right here, Blue is trying to take 52, but no such luck. Oh, Hellfire Brew, will it finish him?
Allied turret destroyed.
Oh, Scarf, you had a Crucible, you could have saved her.
Enemy hero.
Scumbag teammate.
That Lomo wins 250 ice. Congratulations, that Lomo. Make sure you reply to the message we're sending you now.
Alright, so right here, this is actually pretty good for the blue team. They should be able to chase down Scarf? Nope, guess not. Guess they're not going for the fight. They actually could have won this. Dodging the Spitfire is not hard when you're at full range, especially when you have boots. So right there, the game should have probably been ended by the red team, but Scarf did not follow the down into the blue team's base. So blue team was able to take it out and make a small, give himself a small first hit.
Amazing Omar wins 250 ice. Congratulations, Amazing Omar. Make sure you reply to the message we're sending you on Twitch.
Alright. So not too much happening right now. I expect red team to just regroup and push for the end, because I mean they're still like 8k ahead, and that's a pretty tough amount to come back from 22 minutes into the game. If you give it another 10 minutes though, I mean blue team can definitely make a comeback and win this. But we'll see. Scarf has popped a... oh boy. Oh, the stun comes out from Godly Nuts, but it's not gonna be enough. Will it? Will it? Catherine, Blast Tremor comes out. Not quite able to catch up. But red team, they're just kind of chasing blue team into their own base. So one turret remains. Jewel can probably 4-shot this turret with Thunder Strike. So blue team really has to make sure that Jewel stays off of it. Let's watch. I believe. Or she can just like explode the blue team. Well, big red button, probably not the best choice there. Doesn't really do too much damage as a weapon Jewel. But still a decent amount. So I want to see the damage Jewel does to this turret when he Thunder Strikes
And that's
it.
actually a very important point. When you're doing a weapon jewel, Thunder Strike is your ultimate, essentially.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about Thunder Strike. It's so tempting to use Big Red Button, but usually a weapon jewel, a Big Red Button is just a big waste of time. You'd be much better off getting off 2 or 3 Thunder Strikes and doing that damage to the enemy. So if you're going weapon jewel, look to Thunder Strike at every opportunity. You only really want to use Big Red Button if you have people perfectly lined up in a narrow corridor like the one near the Kraken or something.
Most definitely. The main thing about Big Red Button is it's really, even then, I would probably just go for Thunder Strikes. The only time I use Big Red Button is really if you block and like someone's just saved a sliver of HP and you just can't catch up to them. Go for it. Like throw an ult out. Hopefully you'll hit them. All right, so good game to the red side. Stormbringer, Gamer Yoshi, and Matt Palm Q doing some serious work this game. And that's going to be it for today's broadcast.
Yeah, so we're just going to wait for it to catch up since we're on the ESL delay still. And then we are going to host Lady Wabish. Love it if everyone goes and does a Super Evil Mega Raid with us. So I'm just going to wait for the stream to catch up, and then I'll start typing in chat.
Farewell, friends.
But thank you, everybody. Thank you, guys, for joining us for all the ESL. ESL is back on Sunday on this channel, the Vainglory channel. So tune in for that. We are back Friday, and we will be revealing a brand new skin theme on Friday. So tune in for that.
All right, farewell.
Thanks, guys.